Never choose a cruise just because it's cheap. What looks like a dream deal on MSC Cruises could quietly wreck your cabin experience, drain your wallet with surprise fees, or leave you wondering why everything feels off. You're about to board one of the most affordable cruise lines in the world, but there's a reason it's so cheap, and not all of them are good. In this video, we're breaking down the 13 harsh truths and hidden wins about MSC Cruises, from underpaid crew complaints and chaotic buffets to stunning itineraries and surprising luxuries. You'll hear what the ads never say, what seasoned travelers warn about, and what even the crew won't tell you. If you're ready to cruise smarter, skip the regret, and still enjoy the savings, stay tuned, because some of these next points could change your mind entirely. At first glance, it almost seems too good to be true. 7 nights on an MSC ship for less than the price of a weekend hotel, free kids' fares, balcony upgrades for pennies, and packages that beat every competitor? There's a reason MSC is one of the cheapest cruise lines in the industry. But the truth behind that low price tag might surprise you. MSC keeps prices down by running a lean operation, both in staffing and services. Many ships are retrofitted or older models, repurposed with flashy upgrades to look new. But underneath, you're often dealing with limited space, aging infrastructure, and cost-saving design choices that can affect your comfort. Think thinner cabin walls, smaller bathrooms, or furniture that looks better than it feels. But here's the kicker. The base fare doesn't include nearly as much as it does on other cruise lines. Water with dinner? Extra. Lounge chairs in some areas, reserved for upgraded guests. Shows that sound included might still have premium seating fees. The list goes on. So how does MSC pull it off? By luring you in with the sticker price, then earning profits through upsells, surcharges, and limited service tiers. It's a business model that works incredibly well, especially for first-time cruisers who don't yet know what's missing. Still tempted? You might want to check what else you'll be paying for, because next we're diving into the sneaky extras that hit your wallet fast. You booked your MSC cruise thinking, wow, what a steal. But once you're on board, the costs start creeping in. Want a bottle of water at dinner? That's extra. Craving a cappuccino in the morning? Better have your card ready. MSC's budget-friendly pricing hides a growing list of gotcha charges. And for unprepared travelers, the final bill can feel like a slap in the face. Many guests are shocked to find out that basic amenities others include, like tap water with meals, 24/7 room service, and pool towels, often come with fees on MSC. Some ships charge for pizza at certain times. Others restrict free drinks to 1 or 2 designated restaurants. And don't even think about skipping the daily service charge. MSC automatically adds gratuities, and removing them is notoriously difficult. The Wi-Fi? It's not just expensive, it's tiered and limited. If you want streaming speeds, expect to pay cruise ship premiums. And the drink packages? They're confusing and restrictive, with fine print that catches people off guard. One traveler thought their package included everything, until they were charged $4.50 for bottled water and told it wasn't part of the tier. MSC's pricing structure thrives on upsells. From spa access to shows, from chair rentals to shuttle buses at ports, you'll be nickel and dimed if you don't plan ahead. And while your wallet might be feeling the squeeze, your patience could be tested next, especially when you hit the buffet during peak hours. It's lunchtime. You're starving. You head to the buffet expecting a quick plate of pasta or maybe some grilled chicken. But instead, you walk into what feels like a mall food court on Black Friday. Shoulder-to-shoulder crowds, kids darting between trays and long, snaking lines that make you question whether lunch is even worth the stress. On many MSC ships, the buffet becomes a daily bottleneck, and not just during peak times. Part of the problem is layout. Unlike other cruise lines that design open-flow buffet stations, MSC often uses a single-line format, which means you wait behind someone even if you're not after the same food. Combine that with limited seating during high traffic times, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed and frustrated. Multiple reviews mention trays sitting empty or slow food replenishment, leaving guests to stand awkwardly with a plate of salad and no main course. And if you have dietary restrictions, good luck. Labeling is inconsistent, and staff can be hard to flag down in the crowd. This isn't just annoying, it affects the rhythm of your cruise day. Missed show times, rushed excursions, or just general exhaustion from something that should be simple: eating. To avoid the chaos, plan your meals off-peak or explore specialty restaurants early in your cruise. Some are worth the extra cost just for the peace and space. But if you thought the buffet felt understaffed, wait until you meet the person cleaning your cabin, or rather, try to find them. You return from a long day of exploring, sunburned, sandy, ready for a nap, and your cabin still hasn't been cleaned. The towels are damp, the trash is full, and the bed looks like it was hit by a storm. Sound familiar? On MSC Cruises, this isn't a rare slip-up. It's an ongoing complaint that points to one root issue: understaffed cabin service. Unlike many cruise lines that assign stewards to fewer rooms, MSC often tasks its crew with managing more cabins per person. That means fewer visits, longer waits, and more rushed cleanings. Some passengers report not seeing their steward until day 3. Others say they had to hunt one down just to get extra toilet paper. It's not just about convenience, it's about comfort. When you're spending thousands to escape, a messy cabin breaks the illusion of luxury fast. Worse, some guests mention issues like towels not being replaced, beds not made until evening, or mini fridges left unstocked. To cope, seasoned MSC cruisers recommend bringing a small stash of essentials: extra tissues, sanitizing wipes, maybe even a small air freshener. And if your steward is friendly, consider tipping early. A little goodwill can go a long way when service is stretched thin. Still, this level of inconsistency can leave a bad impression, especially for first-timers expecting cruise magic. And the next area? Well, it should be magical, but that depends on how you feel about singing, dancing, and stage lights. The lights dim, the music swells. You're expecting a Broadway-style performance that leaves you dazzled, but 10 minutes in, you're shifting in your seat, wondering if you're watching a rehearsal instead of the real deal. MSC's entertainment is unpredictable, and for many guests, it's the weakest part of the experience. Some shows are decent. You'll see dancers giving it their all, and occasional vocalists who really shine. But too often, the productions feel disjointed or oddly themed, like a Cirque-style show that never quite connects, or a musical number with no clear plot. There's also a heavy emphasis on European-style acts, which might feel out of place or confusing for American audiences. Many guests mention awkward pacing, inconsistent performers, or entire shows spoken in multiple languages, which, while inclusive, sometimes leaves viewers disconnected from the story. And if you're traveling with kids, expect fewer Disney-style moments and more abstract performance art. To be fair, MSC leans heavily on visual spectacle. Costumes, lighting, and acrobatics often look impressive, but if you're expecting the same polish you'd find on Royal Caribbean or Disney Cruise Line, prepare for a letdown. This is entertainment on a budget, and it shows. The fix? Check reviews for your ship's specific entertainment lineup, and if something doesn't sound exciting, use that time to explore quieter parts of the ship or just relax in your cabin. But don't get too comfy, because even your drink order might not go the way you expect. You paid for the drink package thinking you'd sip cocktails by the pool, grab a cappuccino at breakfast, and never worry about the bill. But then, surprise, that mojito isn't included. Neither is the bottled water. And the specialty coffee, that's another charge. Welcome to the world of MSC's confusing and restrictive drink packages. MSC offers multiple tiers: Easy, Easy Plus, Premium Extra. But the fine print is where it gets tricky. Some drinks are only available at certain bars. Others are excluded based on price. Many first-time cruisers find themselves embarrassed at the bar, being told their package doesn't cover what they just ordered. One traveler even joked, "I spent more time studying my drink plan than enjoying it." Unlike other cruise lines that keep things simple, MSC's packages are built to upsell. The lowest tier doesn't even include bottled water and only covers house wine and draft beer. Want cocktails or branded liquors? Better upgrade. And even if you spring for the top tier, some drinks still aren't included at specialty venues. If you're not careful, you'll end your cruise thinking you had unlimited drinks, only to see hundreds in extra charges for non-included beverages you assumed were covered. Pro tip: study the drink menus online before you board and choose the plan that matches your habits. Not just the cheapest option, but drinks aren't the only digital headache on board. Next up, let's talk about what happens when MSC's app and booking systems glitch right when you need them most. Quick heads up, if you're learning something new or feeling more prepared already, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Hidden Cruise. We break down what really happens on board so you're never caught off guard. And trust me, the next few points get even wilder. You wake up excited to book a massage or reserve tonight's show, but the app isn't loading. You try again, still nothing. Eventually, you head down to the front desk, only to find a line that snakes halfway around the atrium. On MSC Cruises, this scene plays out more often than it should, all thanks to glitchy tech that just doesn't keep up with the pace of your vacation. MSC promotes its app and onboard screens as a digital solution for everything: dinner reservations, show bookings, shore excursions, and more. But passengers repeatedly report slow loading times, login errors, and incomplete updates. One couple booked an excursion through the app, only to arrive at the meeting point and be told it didn't go through. And it's not just the app. Kiosks and digital signs around the ship have been known to crash, freeze, or display outdated info, leaving guests confused or double-booked. This can mean missing a show, getting locked out of activities, or even arriving at a restaurant only to find your confirmed reservation vanished. Why does it matter? Because when you only have 7 nights on board, wasted time equals wasted experience. Nobody wants to spend half their cruise standing in line to fix something tech should have handled. Best tip? Do everything as early as possible, ideally before you board. Lock in excursions, check in for shows, and confirm dinner slots. Then screenshot everything in case the app acts up. And now that you know your screen might fail you, let's look at something that rarely disappoints: the stunning itineraries MSC is known for. Say what you will about the quirks on board. When it comes to itinerary options, MSC absolutely delivers, especially if you've ever dreamed of waking up in a new European city every morning. From the cliffs of Santorini to the canals of Venice, MSC's Mediterranean routes are some of the most visually breathtaking and culturally rich in the cruise world. Unlike some cruise lines that repeat the same Caribbean loops, MSC offers deep regional coverage, especially around Southern Europe. You might hit Spain, France, and Italy, all in a single week. And it's not just major ports like Barcelona or Rome. MSC frequently stops in less touristy gems like Valletta, Malta, or Kotor, Montenegro, giving you the kind of authentic travel stories that go way beyond your Instagram feed. The best part? Many of these routes are year-round, meaning you can book outside of peak season to avoid crowds and get even better pricing. MSC's home base in Europe gives it a massive advantage here. The logistics are local, and the itineraries reflect that. For travelers who care more about where they're going than what's on the ship, MSC nails this category. And even though you may face long port days and early departures, the sheer variety of destinations makes up for it. Just be ready to move fast. MSC runs on tight schedules, but the beauty of the journey doesn't end there. Next, let's talk about the people guiding it and why MSC's multicultural crew adds more than just service. Step into the atrium of an MSC ship, and you'll hear something that sets it apart. Voices in Italian, Spanish, French, Tagalog, Hindi, and more, all blending together like a moving symphony of hospitality. MSC Cruises employs one of the most internationally diverse crews in the industry, and that diversity shapes the entire experience on board. Unlike cruise lines that stick to primarily North American staff, MSC pulls from across Europe, Asia, and South America. This means you're likely to interact with servers from Brazil, stewards from the Philippines, entertainers from Italy, and bartenders from Indonesia, all bringing their own unique flair to the ship. It's not just staffing, it's a reflection of MSC's global roots. The benefits? You get exposed to authentic hospitality styles, multilingual service, and crew members who truly understand international guests. Many passengers say the highlight of their cruise was the personal connection they made with a staff member, someone who remembered their name, their coffee order, or even their birthday. That said, cultural differences can lead to some service-style mismatches. Some travelers expecting a hyper-personalized, American-style cruise may find MSC's approach more formal or hands-off. But for others, it's a refreshing departure from the scripted, over-friendly tone found on U.S. lines. So if you're open-minded and willing to engage with different cultures, the crew can actually elevate your trip, offering insight, humor, and warm conversations from around the globe. And while the people are a big part of the experience, MSC's ships themselves have a few design secrets you might not expect, especially when it comes to cabin comfort. You open the door to your stateroom and stop, not because it's cramped, but because it's actually more spacious than you expected, especially for the price you paid. Unlike some cruise lines that squeeze every inch to maximize capacity, MSC has surprised many guests with roomier cabins and smart layout choices, particularly in newer ships like the Meraviglia and Seaside classes. One standout feature? The use of mirrors, lighting, and wide window designs to create a feeling of depth and openness, even in interior cabins. Some layouts even include split bathrooms or large balconies for far less than what you'd pay on other lines. There are also modular furniture setups, fold-down beds, and hidden drawers that make clever use of space without making the room feel crowded. Traveling as a family? MSC offers super family cabins that connect 2 rooms into one large unit with shared amenities. It's ideal for groups who want to stay close without being on top of each other. And even solo cruisers benefit, with dedicated single cabins that avoid the dreaded double fare most lines charge. But here's the catch. Not all ships are equal. Some older MSC vessels still feature tighter quarters and outdated decor, so knowing your ship class makes a big difference. Still, when booked smartly, an MSC cabin can feel like a mini hotel room without the boutique price tag. And just outside that cabin, a ship design that's ready to wow, especially if you're a fan of modern architecture and Instagram-worthy aesthetics. Walk into the central promenade of an MSC ship and prepare to be stunned. You're not just on a cruise, you're inside a floating luxury hotel, complete with Swarovski crystal staircases, chrome-accented elevators, LED sky ceilings, and marble-finished lounges. Even the most skeptical guests admit MSC knows how to make a ship look good. On newer ships like the MSC Virtuosa or Bellissima, the design goes beyond functional. It's immersive. The Galleria, MSC's central indoor boulevard, feels like a European shopping arcade, not just for its architecture, but for the atmosphere. Cafes, pastry counters, boutiques, and live musicians make it feel alive in a way most cruise corridors don't. The cabins reflect this same aesthetic with sleek color palettes, ambient lighting, and clean lines that feel more cosmopolitan hotel than budget cruise. Even public restrooms often feature modern finishes and floor lighting, small touches that remind you MSC wants to impress. Of course, some of this beauty is skin deep. Reviews mention that the shiny surfaces can hide wear and tear if you look closely, and occasionally form trumps function, like touchscreens that don't always work or seating that looks chic but isn't built for lounging long. Still, if you're someone who values design, ambience, and that wow factor, MSC delivers visual luxury without the luxury price. It's one of the few budget-friendly lines that still makes you feel like you're traveling in style. And speaking of style, what about those final memories as you disembark? Let's wrap up with a feature that often leaves guests either applauding or rushing to pack in a panic. The cruise was relaxing, the ports were stunning, and the drinks were, well, mostly fine. But just when you thought it was all smooth sailing, Disembarkation Day arrives and chaos returns. On many MSC ships, the final morning feels more like an airport evacuation than a graceful goodbye. Guests have reported confusing announcements, late luggage deliveries, and staff seeming overwhelmed as thousands of passengers try to funnel off the ship at once. Color-coded tags are used to organize departure groups, but delays are common and signage is often minimal. One traveler said it best: "The cruise ended like someone flipped a switch, from vacation mode to crowd control in minutes." The problem isn't just about logistics, it's the emotional shift. You go from relaxed and pampered to standing in a massive line, dragging luggage through crowded hallways, unsure if you're leaving from deck 6 or deck 4. Worse, if your transfer or flight is scheduled too tight, the stress spikes fast. To avoid a frustrating end, here's the fix. Don't book early flights on MSC unless you've built in a serious buffer. Consider carrying off your own luggage to skip the tag process. And most importantly, have breakfast early and be ready well before your group is called. Because how your cruise ends often shapes how you remember the whole thing. But don't worry, not every ending needs to be chaotic. In fact, if you've made it this far, you're already cruising smarter than most. So what do you think? Is MSC really the hidden gem of affordable cruising, or are the downsides just not worth the discount? We want to hear from you. Drop your honest opinion in the comments. Have you sailed with MSC before? Did it live up to the hype? Or did you walk away swearing you'd never cruise with them again? And while you're down there, share your own cruise horror stories, or better yet, those unexpected moments that turned a budget trip into a trip of a lifetime. Maybe it was a surprise upgrade, a port you never expected to love, or a crew member who made your whole vacation better. Type hidden value if you've ever been shocked in a good way by a cruise that cost less but gave you more than you imagined. And if you're tired of glossy cruise brochures and sugar-coated travel advice, this is the place for you. We bring you real, unfiltered cruise breakdowns, ship-by-ship reviews, and smart hacks to save you time, money, and frustration. If you want to cruise with confidence, not confusion, hit subscribe and join our crew here at Hidden Cruise, where we believe you deserve the truth before you board. Because the next time you step onto a ship, you'll be ready.